Okay, we'll call the meeting to order for the Scio Township Zoning Board of Appeals for the regularly scheduled meeting of December 18th, 2025. I'll call the meeting to order. Would you please call the roll, Mr. Fields?
Oth,
Yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Shields. Yes.
God.
No.
Yes.
Kangas,
Here.
Ramey, no.
Okay. Next item on the agenda is the adoption of the agenda. Does anybody have any corrections, objections? If not, then I solicit a motion.
I move that the agenda be adopted.
Support. Moved by Ms. Shields, supported by Mr. Kangas to adopt the agenda. Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposition? So the agenda is adopted. Next item on the agenda is the communications or correspondence. I have none. Does anybody else have any? No. Okay. Next section, we have swearing in of persons giving testimony during a public hearing. Angela has gotten my proper oath form here finally, so I know what to say. All those persons who are going to be talking today, giving testimony, please stand, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm that your testimony in these proceedings will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you. Next section is public hearings. We'll call public hearing to order under variance number 25006. 30 Parkland Plaza as Victory HQ by Bloom General Contracting for 30 Parkland Plaza H-08-26-200-018 to allow construction of a front yard patio with a front yard setback of 25 feet instead of the required 50-foot front yard setback in accordance with section 36-75. Let's just briefly review the procedure we'll do for the public hearing. After I open the public hearing by announcing the subject and identifying the applicant by name, case number, specified request, and general location, I summarize the procedures to be followed during the hearing. I will call on the petitioner or the petitioner's representative first to present their statements in support of the appeal along with any supporting evidence, after which time the petitioner, his or her agent or attorney may present his or her case, including presenting witnesses on his or her behalf, after which time members of the ZBA shall report on any site inspection and any conversations with the petitioner which may have occurred, after which time members of the public who support the petitioner may speak and or correspondence is read, after which time members of the public who oppose the petitioner may speak and any correspondence is read, after which time I may, as chairperson, permit the petitioner a rebuttal within limits set by myself, after which time I will, upon my own motion or the motion of a ZBA member, announce the close of the hearing or announce continuation of the public hearing to another specified time and date. If the hour is late or additional pertinent information must be obtained, after which time the ZBA deliberates the request and decides the issue, or if a majority of members decide more information or clarification is needed, the issue may be postponed to a future hearing. With that being said, I'll turn the meeting over to the petitioner or the petitioner's representative. Please come on up. We've seen you before, obviously, the last time this was scheduled, but would you please introduce yourself for the record?
Yeah. I can't figure out how to get the sound to stop working on this thing, so it's gonna echo.
Well, we don't have that many things here today, so take your time.
Somebody knows how to get this thing to mute.
Sunday, and blame that on me.
Well, You've got the packet that I'm gonna show.
Introduce yourself for the record.
Works. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
It'll all be recorded.
All right, Joe Maynard, Washington Engineering. I'm on here, on behalf of the applicant, Victory Auto Group. Okay, I'll just get out of this. You're echoing. Figure out how to fix that.
Take your time if you need it. I mean, I have a little bit of a computer issue.
But you can mute me on.
Oh, do you have?
Who are you? Can you raise your hand? Are you Google Pixel tablet?
Yeah, that's me. Tells you how well I've done this.
All right, I gave you access to be a panelist to see if it comes up.
Right now, Mr. Maynard. Something's happening.
Look at the board. It looks like we're making progress, Joe.
I'm not gonna tell you how to do it, but the share screen make a difference? I'm no expert, believe me. Is Doug here?
Yes.
Okay. All right, something's happening here. Something's happening.
Okay.
Great.
Bravo.
Still echoing, but as long as it's not interrupting your sound, that's okay.
What's that?
It's still echoing, so.
You're echoing?
Yeah, with this machine, I can't get the sound from coming off, on it, off.
Is it distracting to you? It's that part you should be able to take care of by one of two methods. I try with the Zoom control, try to, muting the auto, muting the, sound might work.
The sound is off.
What's that?
Looks like his sound is off.
Yeah, my mic's off, but the
It's
tablet is
still
still giving me sound.
The other method I know would have to go into the, your, audio on your tablet and turn it down a little bit. But again, I'm no expert, so
Joe, if it doesn't bother you, I don't think it's bothering any of us.
it may be bothering him.
Yeah.
Victory Automotive Group. As you mentioned, we were here previously, with this application. I've gone back and done quite a bit more research. Brief history, I think I gave you this previously. You know, Victory Automotive Group has 57 locations located around the United States. Actually, at this time, the Township Board has approved their site plan for the additional work on site unrelated to this, but just giving you a background that they're under construction for their new buildings, parking lot expansion, and so on. So we're here tonight under Scio Township Code 3675 to allow a patio to be built in the front yard setback. The front yard setback on this property is 50 feet, and we're seeking a variance of 25 feet to build the patio in the front setback. I guess I could be doing this for you. So this is just a little rendering of the proposed patio and the additional plantings that we've planted around it to help screen it from Park Road and make it just a nice, intimate place for the employees to enjoy their lunch. So a couple questions here from our last meeting. Why was the project kitchen and lunch space where it is? Just to give you a background, Victory provides for their employees prepared lunches. With the initial move to Parkland, it was important for the ownership team to maintain the availability upon completion of the first phase of construction to allow their employees to continue to enjoy lunchtime meals prepared by Victory. Given the layout of the building, I'll give you this kind of layout, the building. So this is the existing building that's there now. You can see on the top part of that screen is where all of the lunchroom services are, along with they'll provide meetings and educational programs and things like that in that space. A lot of this floor area was existing and they had to fit with an existing tenant and their build out in a space that they could put that. So it limited the area where they could put it, along with existing utility services, gas, electric, sewer, water. Next question is, why is it important to have a break room near the patio? In a concerted effort to eliminate one of the core values of Scio Township in its master plan, the Michigan Planning Enable Act, proximity and immersion to green spaces where possible was prioritized to promote the health, safety, general welfare of its employees on site. Also, there's another book that's how to plan to be used, a kitchen break room service, main meeting hub, Victory headquarters. Space, like I said, was set up for flexibility, providing operable wall partitions, kitchen break functions to be maintained while simultaneously hosting groups in the adjacent meeting room. Allowing a patio with direct access to the break room greatly adds to the intended flexibility. This helps promote individual connectivity with the open air, would encourage individuals to take their lunches outside, mostly in the summer, probably not in the winter, when it's nice out, and enjoy their lunch outside in the fresh air. Practical difficulty with placing the patio to the west of the building or elsewhere on the property. Locating the patio elsewhere on the campus would effectively discourage individuals from using their break time to get some fresh air. If the patio is located to the west, the employees would have to walk all the way through the building. Once it's completed, you can see on the lower picture here, once it's completed, to go from the kitchen space, lunchroom space, all the way to the west, you'd have to walk all the way through the entry with your lunch all the way down the other side of the building, which most people just aren't gonna do. By the time you get there, your food's gonna be cold. Most people are gonna wanna just be able to step right outside with their food, sit down and enjoy your lunch. So we did an extensive study within Scio Township to find all of the parcels of land that have the same zoning designation as this parcel OS. We found 15 parcels that match this zoning classification in the township. Of those 15 parcels, This is the only one that has 3 road frontages on it, making it one of the reasons why this lot has some very difficult use. It also by far has the most road frontage by any other lot. Because of its long, slender size, it loses a lot of its property. By other comparison, other lots, it's 145% the average length of all the other 15 parcels. Which is an average of 379.94 feet. This parcel has 1,153 feet of road frontage. Parcel also has the most road land within the front yard setback. With the exception of 1 vacant lot, which is 30 acres, but it really is not comparable to this lot. This lot's much smaller. So this map highlights the locations where the other 15 parcels are within the township. Just giving you an idea of how we did this. Included in your packet too, I didn't put all of it on here, but it was the data for each one of those lots showing the dimensions and.
Yeah, we do have all that stuff.
Okay. So this chart is just going over that, you know, all of that data, all those 15 lots are in this chart showing you, you know, that basically giving you the background for this information, but I need to go through all of this for our lot's on the bottom there at 5.5 acres. Showing that we've got 25.5% of our property in a front yard setback on the property. So with the existing building being built at the setback, there were no options for the project to have the opportunity to configure the property for the use of a patio space. So they purchased this property this way, it was existing. The prior use of the building did not have the necessary space set up for the employees for prepared lunches. This was something that Victory added for their employees.
Mr. Maynard, how many approximate employees will be there in the 2 buildings combined?
They're gonna have almost 200 employees there once it's all done. So, and this is being done at no financial gain to Victory. They're not renting this space out. It's specifically used for their employees. So they're putting this expense forward, just to benefit the employees. Again, this is the drawing, detailed construction plans, showing the patio and landscaping, around it between these 2 pages. So, as you can imagine, there's a lot of expense going into creating this patio and all the extra plantings that go along with it. The area directly connected to this space, to the north is owned by the Washington County Road Commission. I think we talked about this previously. In a request to the road commission to ask what their use was gonna be for this future area. They gave us the instructions below, but they also told me on the phone that this area is basically used for some drainage in the area, and they also have no future plans to build anything there. Though in their official statement to me, they wouldn't put that in there, but they have no objections to the patio being in the setback, where they could see it would cause any future, you know, they're not gonna move the road anytime soon because there's just not enough traffic on that roadway to warrant it. So this parcel is the only one of the 15 same zone parcels in the township that also has a roadway that is not centered in the right of way. As you can see by that prior picture, the roadway is actually pushed to the north end of that right of way, giving this area much more of a green space between the roadway and the building within the road right of way. Patio will be fronting Park Road. It's a very low road, very low volume road. And the traffic impact study, which you got the full impact study in your packet. I just brought along, attached a few of the relevant pages out of it to show that the traffic coming and going on this road is really low. And there's not gonna be much visual impact from those travelers at this location. And probably not much, there's not much land down there to be developed, so it's not gonna be changing in volume anytime soon. Lastly, the parcel, because of the small size and large, long road frontage, makes it very long and slender. I mentioned this before, which leads to over 25% of the parcel's land to be within the front setback. Again, a large impact to this individual lot. These are just the traffic volumes showing you, the impact on Park Road. Coming and going 6 to 20 some cars in the peak period. Obviously it would drop off much more drastically after that. This photograph here just shows you in the hatching area, all the way around the property, the impact area, giving you a visual reference of the space that's in the right of way. Again, that's at 25% of the overall property that's in a setback. Last one here again is just kind of the same thing in the chart. You can see with all the other parcels, that we are the only one that does not have a roadway centered. We have the most acreage within a front yard setback by acreage and by percent, not quite by percent. There's a few larger parcels, but overall we're have the most area within a front yard setback. Obviously, here's the final product of investment that Victory's making within Scio Township. With this result. So I'll leave it open to questions.
Questions?
Was this, you say was approved by the board, was the parking lot also of the eating space included?
What space?
The thing they proposing now.
The patio?
Yeah.
The patio is not on the site plan. So the patio is a separate application.
So the way that you have the configuration in the patio of tables and such to handle what, the all 200?
Well, not all 200 people would be out there. No, it's a very small patio, actually. It's only 40 by 60. And their lunch schedules will be staggered, so not everybody would go out there.
So total, you could accommodate?
I think it was like, there's 8 picnic tables.
So they're not all gonna be out there at once, Jerry.
No,
You
yeah,
might get
And
30 to
by
40, 30 to
conclusion-
40 people at a time, yeah.
yeah.
Is there any lighting out there planned, Mr. Mayor?
No, there's no lighting actually planned for this.
Is
It's,
there any amplified audio or music planned? Are there any plans to use any audio visual equipment out there for business purposes, much like we're doing here with Zoom showing stuff?
no, the kitchen area is already partitioned off with audiovisual inside the building. That's where they're gonna do everybody's gonna sit and get their.
Just asking about.
Yep, no, I understand,
I
yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Just asking whether.
And it will not be used by the public, it's for their own private use, by the employees only.
Has there been any discussion with any board member regarding the setback?
We're, us board members?
No, there's the board member.
Oh, the Board of Trustees?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
This has not been brought to the board at this time. So we came here first to get the variance. And then we would go for, basically it's a construction permit for a patio.
I think if it included in the site plan, it would have been noted that it had to get a variance anyway.
Yes, yeah,
So they were coming here no matter what.
yes.
Okay, 2 or 3 questions, which you've dealt with very well.
I asked some questions about page C4. Shows the right of way. I want to make sure I understand the dimensions.
Which drawing was that, Mr. Wolf?
C4.0.
This guy.
Oh, that's stack. Yeah, there's a smaller version in the Victory, but this is just easier.
Dimension where you looking at?
I'll start with, there are two lines that extend, it looks like, from each end of the proposed patio that have 70.7 and 70.3. Is that from the building? The Park Road?
Come look at that?
Yes.
I got a tiny little version of it.
These two.
Oh, that's the distance from the edge of the road
Road to the
to the
building,
patio,
to the patio, but not the building.
not the building, yep.
Okay. That's what I wanted to know.
We've done.
Yeah, for the moment, if you've got other questions, go.
And I just want to clarify it. The last time you presented the fact that the County Road Commission owned this property was discussed. And as I recall, it was mentioned that there are no plans to build on property.
Correct.
I know we had lengthy discussion about that. Just wanted to bring it up because it
Yeah.
might be important, so.
I look at this and make the assumption that the county claimed a large chunk trying to figure out what the Jackson Road Parkland Plaza intersection was going to look like. they figured it out and they have this excess land. I think you could easily say if they had gone back and said, all right, what does the right of way need to be now that we're done? You draw the line, Jackson Road, Parkland Plaza, then you drop south along Parkland Plaza, and you just have that lot there.
Yeah, and if you put the setbacks in there, you can't build anything in there anyway. It's because 50-foot setbacks in all three directions. There's no land left to build.
Now, the question is why the setback where you want to put the patio or the right of way infringes where you want to put the patio. The bulge where the driveway is into Victory off of Park Road, then the right of way shifts back so it looks like it would be a straight line to where it currently is.
I'm not 100% following your comment.
If you look on C4 at the bottom, there's a dark line showing the right of way.
Yes,
You can see when you start on the left of the picture, it comes over along Park Road.
Yeah.
Goes north.
Yeah.
Goes across Park Road, back where the driveway is, and then drops down. The question.
oh,
You've got this bulge.
right.
The question is if you redid the right of ways around here, would this continue? Or would this be the line?
No, I have no idea. You're asking,
No, I'm just speculating
Yeah, I
because
know.
it influences
Yeah, I
the
think I know what you mean.
decision
Yeah.
on, you've got 70 feet between the proposed patio and Park Road. So even if, yeah,
Yeah.
even if Park were, for some reason, and I hate bringing up paving in Park Road because it brings bad memories, but this is a different section of Park Road.
She just spasmed.
Even if you did something here, you still would have room.
This
to
road,
expand.
this is paved up to this point.
Okay.
Here. Yeah. So
So it's not,
if anything would happen, it's kind of goofy. There's another bulge further down, but
Yeah.
right away, back here would be the future right away.
Yeah.
Because they would normally take it.
I'm just looking at this and seeing there's a lot of green space even from the edge of the patio. Do you know, is Victory set on concrete? Or are they open to potential different surfaces?
I think they were open to different surfaces. I mean, concrete's probably easy to maintain, but I mean, we talked about other surfaces. But no matter what we put there, it still needed a variance either way, yeah.
I'm a little too long, I'm sensitive. We go to the surface as we go in. Always seems to come up.
We're mitigating some of it with all the extra plantings.
The existing building, did Victory move into it, do you know, or did they build it?
No, they moved into it. It was existing. And they've gone through the process and actually retrofit it all. I mean, the kitchen and everything's built now, what I understand. So they're in that building now.
Right.
And actively pursuing construction on the next phase.
the fact that this property, Mr. Maynard, is on 3 roads, which you've emphasized before in your original submission and today. What part of that fact do you believe amounts to making this parcel unique? And having an extraordinary or exceptional circumstance according to, our variance ordinance.
Well, when we go through the other 15 parcels in the township for the same zoning district, none of them have
I was
three
gonna follow up
fronts.
with a
Yep.
question about that as well,
Yep.
but let's combine the two. You got
Mhm.
frontages on 3 roads and you got all of these other OS properties that you've analyzed. Could you explain why that's amounts to exceptional, extraordinary circumstances?
It's more so that it's such a long, slender lot. All the property along Park Road is, you look at it and it's, let me just find it here. So our lot is only 5 acres in size, 5.05 acres. And with that long, slender part of the property, we're taking 25% of our property land that we have available, and it's being set aside as setback. So, we lost a quarter of the land that we have due to the road frontages. And a majority of that is really Park Road and Parkland Plaza. As we know, Heisler Court is a pretty small percentage of that total area. In comparison, that gives us total length of road frontage, 1,153 feet of road frontage. Comparable, the next closest lot is 807 feet. I mean, so we're still vastly above anybody that's close to that road frontage.
Why should that entitle you to essentially reducing the setback 50%?
And it's only 50% in a small space. We're not asking for the entire road frontage to be cut back 50%. Just
So
the
50 to
60 feet so
25.
they could put their patio in and the employees can enjoy sitting outside. Yeah, so.
That was my concern last time around, and it remains my concern now. That's why I ask, and I understand your analysis more or less, but I'm sitting there trying to figure my own mind. What's so different about this property that entitles a reduction in setback? Just like every other property that comes before us.
Well, the narrowness of the parcel contributes to reducing their options.
Well,
And the 3 roads, parcel has frontage on 3 different roads. They've attempted to reconfigure with an existing building and then renovate that, put in a new building, but they're working with what they were given in the beginning. I'm just thinking, this is a business that we want to support in the township.
But that's not the criteria that the zoning board uses.
I know, it's part of it though, if we have exceptional circumstances that are applicable to the property, that is a factor we can consider.
Let's reserve that for a moment. Let's go through the rest of the public hearing and we can talk a little bit. Anything else at this point, Mr. Maynard?
No, just whatever questions you have.
Does anybody have any other questions at this time?
Just to confirm, we are talking about 25 foot by 45, so it's that, yes.
No, I think it was,
25 by 45.
I think that's.
C1 should have the dimensions on it. Say 25. Oh, actually 20 by 45, yes. Oh, no, that's 25. You're right,
Yeah,
25. Here's 25.
Yeah.
25 by 45, yep, okay.
So that's the dimension of the.
Patio.
Patio.
Proposed.
Any other questions of the applicant at this point? I'd ask all the members of the ZBA to report on any site inspection and any conversations with the petitioner they may have had.
No conversations, no site inspection. I've been out there before, so I didn't go again.
I did not go out there again. We didn't talk about this, but as noted, the expansion of Victory has come to the planning commission. So we've talked about that, but not about this.
Right, I
Just. being clear.
appreciate the disclosure, yeah. And I haven't been out there again since the last time this was up, and I was out there several times. But, and I've had no conversations. Mr. Shields?
And no conversations, but I went out there today and my car is very muddy. Luckily, it's not white.
Mr. Kangas? No conversations, no additional site visit? Okay. At this point, are there any members of the public who support the petitioner who would wish to speak? There's nobody here in the room. Is there anybody on, Zoom?
No.
Okay. Are there any members of the public who oppose the petitioner who would wish to speak at this time? Again, no members of the public are in the room. Is there anybody on Zoom who would care to speak?
No.
Okay. You have an option for rebuttal, but I guess there's nothing really to rebut. But if you
I
have.
think with nobody showing up and nobody, you know, a lot of times if a project is even questionable, you get people to show up to say, to give their opinion. So I think this shows that there's.
Yeah, so the only thing.
Without showing it.
The one thing we should, of course, put on the record, and I think it already has, but the road commission has been contacted. And there was a reply by email, which is in your materials. That's referred to by Ms. Luan and by your submission. So at this point, I'd solicit a motion to close the hearing.
Just one
Oh.
question.
Sure.
Do we need to hear from Carlisle Wortman before we close the public?
No.
Okay. Move to close the public hearing.
Moved by Mr. Walsh to close the public hearing, supported by Mr. Kankas. Any discussion? Then I guess call the roll.
Kangas,
Yes.
Noel,
Yes.
Shields, yes, Oth,
Yes.
Walsh.
Yes.
Okay, so the public hearing is closed and we deliberate. And as I said, time to talk about it, but I guess what Ms. Knoll is saying is that this is a nice petitioner and this is a nice.
I didn't say that.
Basic, but you said, you know, it's a
This,
business that needs to be supported, so I call that a nice business. I mean, we're getting colloquial here, but that's all right. And it would help the employees and everything, but see, my problem with that, cause I kind of agree. But I don't see that as part of our criteria. It would apply to, I think you could that could be demonstrated by the mere fact, let's say they just had the building, the existing building, they came to us and said, hey, we would like to have a variance for this. They're not gonna do any increase, nothing else, just that. And I'm sitting there saying, there really isn't the criteria that we've been charged to apply. That's my concern.
I guess where I'm at is that we have a number of locations, I just don't know the number, where we have gone into the green space.
We have what?
Had a project that has gone into the green space.
Yeah. Oh, the greens, you mean the green belt? I don't know.
The actual, yeah, the green belt in front of the building or whatever it is. One was a parking lot, one was a.
None particularly comes to mind for me.
I meant to ask him if he had done any research on that.
Someone mentioned that before.
I did.
Oh.
Cause I know when I was on the planning commission, we extended some things out on the. Jackson Boulevard properties that went into. The front, and they extended their, footprint. And I'm trying to think of who they were.
Most of the dealerships.
Yeah,
And that what you're referring to is the Jackson Road overlay
yeah,
district allows businesses to encroach half of the front yard green belt with parking as long as they put in the Jackson Road overlay fence detail or some landscaping. So if they put in the fence posts with the ornamental fence and I think some additional landscaping, they may encroach halfway into the front yard green belt. That's within the Jackson Road overlay district. This is not within the Jackson Road overlay district. But I think that's what you're talking about, Jerry.
yeah. And I wasn't there a storage area down at the end of Jackson Boulevard that did that?
Pirates Cove, you mean?
I don't
Yeah.
recall.
Yeah, and we had to put the fence in front of them.
What's in front of them? Like a wrought iron? I don't know. I think I wasn't on the ZBA or the planning commission at that time, I don't think.
Alright.
Well, the public hearing's been closed, Mr. Maynard, but I'll tell you what. Go ahead.
I was just gonna mention in my packet, there are a couple lots. Especially, can't read the address on this, that showed buildings within the front setback on some of the roadways. But
So you're saying there were variances for those properties?
I have no idea, I didn't research that. So
They outside the Jackson Road overlay district.
one of them is it's out on
Okay.
Dexter, Chelsea,
There you go.
but
I'll give you a possible circumstance that's unique to this, and that's the right of way. Now, it's speculation on my part, but as I said before, my guess is the road commission claimed a large chunk around Parkland Plaza to figure out before they put it in. So make sure they had space to put in an entrance to Parkland Plaza. If you look at it at the moment, and you said, all right, where Park Road is, if you said, all right, they're done with Parkland Plaza, do they really need that right of way that comes across that chunk of land that has frontages on Jackson and Park? Would you instead just increase it, the right of way down Jackson to Parkland Plaza and then down Parkland Plaza? And then you'd create unique right of ways for Park Road. The edge of the patio to Park Road has 70 feet. the edge of the proposed patio has 70 feet. If the right of way was the edge of the park and you went 50 feet from that, this would still be within dimensions of the lot. It's the right of way that creates a unique circumstance.
Is that a buildable lot? That little corner, that little area where the right of way jogs?
With variances, anything is buildable.
Can build on a
I
swamp.
guess that's,
Yeah.
Unlike,
and they'll, and whoever buys that's gonna come to us and say, hey, I need to build because you took it away with that variance you
no,
granted.
we're not.
Years ago.
We're not taking it because the building
I-
lot's opposite Park Road. and-
Kinda kidding.
Yeah. I mean, Park Road divides it, so it's not gonna affect that. You're not taking down the trees along Park Road. It's not gonna be visible. Even if, should someone build there in the future.
Well, then you come down to the basic idea of setbacks and, you know, setbacks gonna applies everywhere.
No,
Unless there's something uniquely extraordinarily and requiring the necessity of doing what they wanna do. And
The only one here is the right of way. If you wanna make that an exceptional circumstance.
I don't know. Do you?
I'm inclined to, yes.
Why? In the broad scheme of, I mean, convince me.
In the broad
Scheme of what we do here for the ZBA.
in the broad scheme of what we're doing. The building which Victory moved into was right on the setback, given the right of way.
Right, so that alone means,
No, they, again, buyer beware and all of that.
yes,
The right of way at the moment. Maybe there's some conceivable reason you would need more space. But the entrance in and out of Parkland Plaza is done. The lanes are in, the lights are in, no one's changing that intersection. Washtenaw County just owns that, and no one's gone back and said, there's a reason to change the right of way, because we're done. It's just been on the books. For me, this is one, if you went back and looked and said, does the right of way still need to be from Jackson Road down to Parkland the way it's designed at the moment? I think the answer would be no. It's just one of these, no one's gone back to say, hey, let's move the right of way given the existing conditions, which are likely to be that way for the foreseeable future. Now, the question then becomes, if they shift the right of way, the land, I guess, north of the 50-foot setback that Victory currently has to Park Road, there's roughly 70 feet to the patio, so it's 25 out to the 50, so 35 feet between the setback and Park Road. Would Washtenaw County be okay, given that 35-foot strip, which is completely unbuildable even with variances? Would they be okay with them?
anything can be buildable.
No, 35 feet is kind of tough.
Well, I just, again, I'm pulling your leg here,
I
but.
know.
But the point is, what I'm having trouble with, yes, everything you say it makes sense and. But we're dealing with setbacks that apply all the way around to everybody. And the fact that, you know, the building was built there, I'm sure, specifically for the setback. We're gonna make a bigger enough building to get as much as we possibly can and put it in there. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But that limits what you're allowed to do. I mean, that's the concern that I'm having here. And we do this, we've sat here and said no on a lot of other setback issues.
Each situation is unique.
Each situation is unique. And we could have given it in each of those other cases.
But does that have to control what we do now with this situation?
Depends on how you want to apply it, how you want to apply the setbacks. Do you want to just, if it's a favored or at least a neutral owner, and it would be helpful for the employees. It's a good thing to do. Should we do it?
So you're saying there is a degree of subjectivity in the application and interpretation of the setback requirements? Which is
I'm
naturally.
pretty close. Well, no, I mean, by definition, yeah, there's some subjectivity, yeah.
There you go.
So
So we
how do
can
you apply
interpret
it?
it
In this
differently.
case, is that all the ones we turned down?
Well, I wasn't there for all of those, so I don't know those. But maybe most of you were there, I don't know. But right now we have this situation in front of us. And we have to individually attempt to come to a decision on this one.
Yeah. And why would you be in favor of this one as opposed to others?
Because I think there were exceptional circumstances here.
Go ahead. What are they?
The frontage on 3 roads, narrowness of this lot, the fact that they've worked to work with a pre-existing building. And then, quite frankly, it's a business we want to support in the township. Why would we want to make it hard for them?
Why would we not enforce setbacks
Well, I'm
all the
saying,
way across the board, even though we want to encourage everyone who owns property?
with our
I'm,
interpretation, if we think there are some extraordinary or exceptional circumstances that make this situation unique, the totality of the situation, for me, that's enough to support it, granting the variance.
what does the frontage on 3 roads have to do with enforcement of the setbacks?
It makes their options more limited.
How so?
They have fewer options for construction. I mean, they have to conform somewhat to our ordinances. They're designed. I mean, they've had to study with the coordination of the existing kitchen with the patio and a meeting room that expands, they said. So they had to design all of that.
Can I switch gears a bit?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll wait for you to decide.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you.
I can switch.
This is, so one of the criteria is that such a variance is necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right possessed by other properties in the same zone and vicinity. I, don't know the township as well as several of you, but I don't know of any place where having a patio to eat lunch is a necessary substantial right,
Property right?
property right, It's an odd twist on it because they're being very nice. I really admire their thinking, but I'm not sure it meets that criteria. Again, it's
We've said in the past that a garage is a property right.
but that's because everybody has a 2-car garage now. And that's the typical case we come up where we say a 2-car garage is a substantial property. That is very different than having a nice place.
They're different, but This is a business. They serve meals to their employees. They prepare the meals there for them, their employees.
And it's a nice thing to do, but they have a facility where 200 people, the way they've structured it, can eat lunch. And for not 8 months of the year, that's what they do. So I don't know. I'm struggling with that also, not as much as the issues that you guys have just been talking about. But this is another one that's, as you look at our criteria, it doesn't stand up very well.
Switch gears again. And go back to your original question, Tom, about why is this different? I guess for me, the question is our approach, and I've said this, desiring to be consistent. But I also desire to learn. I think this is an educational process in the long run. On it, the more I learn. And I think in going back to some of the past decisions, from what I've learned going forward, I might have taken, if they came to us now, a different approach than I took at the time. So the comparison isn't static, it's evolutionary. And I think my thought process on this in some instances has shifted.
You've been on the planning commission too long.
That's where the problem is.
It's happened to me too. There are places I drive by now, wish I had gone the other way.
Is this a substantial property right?
It's a good question. I guess the other question then is, do the 5 criteria we look at all have to go in favor of the applicant to say yes?
Yes. There's no question about that.
Okay.
Yes. How would the board phrase a different zoning ordinance that would accommodate this particular situation? In other words, what criteria would you use on the board? For example,
Speak for the entire board.
do you then? What,
Well, that's a complicated question. And I would need some time to reflect on that.
the reason I ask that is not to put you on the spot, but rather to say, okay, should we have a zoning ordinance which permits a patio for businesses who provide lunches to their employees, which we want to support and encourage, that are have 3 road frontages and maybe, I mean, we're instead dealt with setbacks under ordinance that we're to apply unless there's certain reasons as articulated to allow it.
Or maybe the property right isn't the patio. Maybe the property right that they're being denied is use of the land. Assuming the data we've got from Joe is correct, 25% of the usable space on this lot is encumbered by a setback, which is for a lot of these significantly more. They can't use that land because of the setback. Others have less. The setbacks are the restriction that encumbers them versus other similarly zoned properties. Because of the multiple frontages.
It sounds like you're bootstrapping.
That could be, yes.
I mean, you're trying, and you're not wrong doing it, but you're trying to come up with an excuse for this. Again, that's too colloquial.
No, well, let's be honest. And I don't recall, I said at the last meeting I was in favor of this, but I needed a reason to say yes.
Okay,
And I didn't have a reason at the last meeting. I've got more data. I
well,
still think it's, by all accounts, yes. I am looking for a reason to say yes, and I may be bootstrapping it. So, but I don't think this is an unreasonable thing to ask. I think there are constraints on this particular piece of property that are unique. And I'm willing to go along with it.
That's where I am too.
I know,
It's nothing about their.
I know you.
Okay, just want to be clear.
I mean, if we had voted the last time, I would have said no, because there wasn't. The additional data gives me something to say yes to, however much I'm bootstrapping or looking for a reason. Well, let's be honest.
I know, I know, and that's fine. I don't hold it against.
No, I know you're not. I just, if we're honest, this group works because we're honest with each other. And that's what makes it a good group to deal with.
The problem I still have is with consistency.
I know.
And, you know, even, I guess. The only thing that really, to me, makes this a little bit different is just that the right-of-way jog. And if it wasn't there, everything would be swell. But it's not. And what do we do down the line? What do we do? How many more months next year should we wait until we have something that we like, but it really doesn't fit?
Everything is unique. None of these set precedent.
Well,
I know that's not a great answer for someone thinking about coming to us in the future. But in reality, that's what this is.
what do you guys think?
Well, I've been on a planning commission that has approved to go into,
That of what?
that have approved to go into green space and all that stuff, so. And granted, it's part of the Jackson Road overlay, but we're talking about a whole parking lot going into that extended area. Here, we're talking about a small slice. So that's where I'm sitting from.
I think I'm second only to you, Tom, in terms of abiding by consistency. And I'm struggling with this. To be honest, and can think of a couple other reasons why, you can make yourself feel a little better about this. Is it's just a patio, it's just on the ground, it's not a building. If something happens, they can tear it down, get rid of it. There is some flexibility there that we would not have with the normal situations we've had. I still don't know how I'm gonna vote, but that's another one of the things that's going through my mind.
Well, somebody better bring a motion. We can start counting heads here.
Pardon?
Will you do it?
Sure.
Saw you writing over there.
Yeah,
Didn't you
well,
write this all out beforehand so you could just spin
No.
it out like Mr. Shields does?
it's not how I do it. I try to keep it simple.
No. You do a good job, Mr.
All right, and I will need help along the way because I need statements of facts, but let's start this. Regarding variance number 25006, 30 Parkland Plaza as Victory HQ by Bloom General Contracting for 30 Parkland Plaza, site H-08-26-200-018 to allow construction of a front yard patio with a front yard setback of 25 feet instead of the required 50-foot front yard setback in accordance with section 36-75. So some statement of fact to get these done early. A statement of fact, the lot in question is relatively long and narrow. The building on the existing site, north side, sits on the 50-foot setback line. The building has 2 main road frontages and a partial third. Just to keep it on the record, Victory Automotive anticipates constructing a second building, which is in process within the township. The right-of-way does not go to Parkland Plaza Jackson Road, but cuts across a Washington County Road Commission plot almost to the western edge of the existing building. And the right-of-way is 70 feet from the edge, or no, Park Road is 70 feet from the edge of the proposed patio of the applicant. The applicant is asking just to make sure we keep the size down for a 25 by 45 foot site. That there are exceptional or extraordinary circumstances or conditions applicable to the property that do not apply generally to other properties or class of uses in the same district. I should probably have put this in the statement of fact. But for the applicant, 25.55% of the available land is taken up by front yards or by setbacks. This is in most cases significantly more than other properties zoned similarly. B, that such a variance is necessary for the preservation and enjoyment of a substantial property right possessed by other properties in the same zone and vicinity. Again, this is being able to use property within the lot. The frontage consumption denies them use of their land. C, that the granting of such variance or modification will not be material detrimental to the public welfare or materially injurious to the property or improvements in such zone or district in which the property is located. Putting in this patio will not impact anyone in the zone. The granting of such variance will not adversely affect the purpose or objectives of the master plan of the township. This variance will not do that. And absent exceptional circumstances which would otherwise result in a substantial injustice, the circumstances or conditions upon the variance are not the result of the applicant or predecessors in title. The applicant moved into the building. The right-of-way was not theirs. They are constrained by the frontages.
Right.
Yes.
Let's finish the motion, then we can do an amendment.
So I move to grant the variance.
I'll support.
Okay, motion to grant the requested variance for the reasons stated by Mr. Walsh, supported by Ms. Knoll. And Ms. Knoll, did you wish to request an amendment from
This is
the
a,
mover?
friendly amendment. I just wanted under D to add a little more. It was a very, very brief statement. this, in our packet, the wording he's used is subject variances would have no impacts on the purposes or objectives of the master plan. That's what I would like to
Fair enough.
put that in. I think you said it won't do that or something like that.
Okay, no, I will accept that.
Okay.
Do we need to add a condition that, this does not give them a right to ever build there?
Let's put in a condition that this is for a 25 by 45 foot patio.
Well, that's already in the motion,
Right.
so it's not gonna be a condition
Right.
by itself.
I think I did say it as part of the statement of fact, so.
There would not be. All right, so we're in the discussion phase of the motion. What's your concern?
Oh, just that, at some point in time, the box is open and they say, gee, we're adding another whole bunch of people and we're gonna build where that patio was. Because we got this variance.
Well,
No, let's be specific. This variance is for the construction of a 25 by 45 foot patio.
I think what Mr. Shields is saying is thinking ahead. They've got the other building built or nearly built, or maybe it's been built and 3 years down the line, they decide that, they need to move the kitchen because it's not good enough and they're gonna put it over on the other side, the new building. And they wanna do the same thing over there. Is that what you're getting at? Yeah, I don't think we can really deal with that emotion on this variance.
I don't, but no, we put conditions in
We
saying,
can, but that's kind of a severe,
this is what they're requesting. We did that weird one off the road where we said they could build the house as is, and we put in as conditions exactly what the applicant asked for.
yeah.
To prevent people from going in and saying, all right, I'm gonna change the design because I've got these variances.
No question, but I'm simply saying that I don't think Mr. Shields's suggestion for a condition on this one for that it's not gonna be built or something else gonna be built, I don't think we can really go there because you're really constricting for a long time and then I'd rather not. Do you really want that? Are you asking that as an amendment or are you just
Yeah.
suggesting it as a discussion?
I will accept it as an amendment.
That's what I was
Well,
thinking.
let me hear it again.
Uh,
Let's hear it.
Do you want
This variance is for the construction of a 25 by 45 foot patio. Period.
Okay. Well, while we're on the subject of conditions, I would, if you accept this as a amendment to your motion, not necessarily I'm gonna vote for it just yet. A condition that, number one, there will be no, amplified, music or audio of any sort. In or around, well, I'll explain in a moment, in or around, the patio. That, the patio be shielded by trees. As shown in the drawing. To, use as a, what's the right word?
Visual buffer.
Visual buffer to Park Road.
May I ask if I can substitute trees for landscaping?
Yeah, sure. And, that there will be no additional lighting.
No additional light.
Lighting to be used in the patio. The reason I say that is because I've seen in the past that it hasn't been done in other places that I'm familiar with in Scio Township. And I'm not gonna get into all the details, but the primary one it is Party Barn. I think there's another one on Liberty Road, down to the east, that the people didn't take it into consideration. And I think that it should be limited to the express description of the applicant about what it's gonna be used for. What I worry about is that it gets overused. It's a convenient time to meet after work and do whatever. I almost feel like, and this may be going too far, I almost condition it on no smoking. But that may be asking too much.
Given that the applicant's package talks multiple times about being available for lunch, I'm okay with your items
As an amendment.
as an amendment.
Okay.
And I don't know that, I think they're necessary, but I'm okay with
What are necessary?
what you proposed. But that, it's okay, it's still acceptable to me.
Sound, light,
Landscaping.
and buffer, visual buffer. I don't even know what's the proper term for that. You're on the planning commission, you ought to know. Visual buffer.
Anyone else?
Makes it palatable a little. But I'm still, I still struggle and I want somebody to tell me why I should vote yes for this.
Why don't you ask Doug?
No, there's a good reason for that and
Well,
that.
We've
and
all expressed our opinions, I mean,
Doug has expressed his opinions twice now, so we have that in writing.
Okay,
This is our
But-
deliberation time.
But his point is not, his role is not to make it in the zoning board, not to make recommendations.
There's nothing else. Let's call it.
Right?
Yes,
Kangas,
Yes.
Noel,
yes.
Walsh,
Yes.
Sean. It's settled now, it doesn't matter.
yes,
Shields, yes.
with much reservation. Ms. Mayor, do you understand the conditions?
Yes. Yep, and they're perfectly acceptable. Just one thing for your use as far as using this outside, they actually have another space in one of the buildings for after work meetings that's inside. So not that it matters, but
Planning commission will handle that, right?
yeah.
Hold on a second, I'll give you a written decision.
Not that it's a condition, but it would be really nice if it wasn't an impervious surface.
I talked to them about that, yeah. I mean, they discussed it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Mr. Walsh, would you do the honors on that?
Shields.
or Mr. Shields,
Ben,
or Mr. Walsh, you could get up too.
he's sick, he can't do that.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Take care, Joe, well done.
Thank you.
Your presentation, I have a bunch of questions, you dealt with all of them. Really well done.
Thank you. I spent a lot of time on it.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Mr. Walsh, or Mr. Shields with an S on the end, you'll, take that one?
Yep.
In fact, you can take two of them.
Yeah, they're not coming in, so I'm.
yet.
You're not gonna be coming into his office. I'm giving these over.
Take them in, put them in.
Fabulous.
All right, next item on the agenda is, old business. Do we have any, where did this all go? Well, let's wait for her to come back. Actually, we can move ahead without her.
Yeah.
Even though Ms. Knowles has absented herself for a moment, I think we can continue. Is there any other old business?
Not that I'm aware of.
Oh, is there any other old business? Ms. Knoll?
Not that I'm
Okay. Next, item is approval of the minutes, for December 20th, 2025.
I've got two suggestions. Well, one is, under roll call, there's a comma after no, there shouldn't be.
That is very precise.
This next one may be even more so. On Carlisle Wortman, rather than a space.
What page are we talking
On
about?
page 2, 3/4 of the way down, the last bulleted item. There is not a dash between Carlisle and Wortman.
Okay. Well, anybody else have any corrections? I've got one, and I can't remember how to correct it. It's on page 9. Under motion discussion. It says Chair Auth said that although he agreed with the essential points in the motion and would support it, there's nothing else there. Oh, what I said. Or take out although.
Just drop although, let's keep it simple.
All right, then let's, with those three changes, anybody else?
Move to accept the minutes as amended.
Is there support?
Support.
Moved by Mr. Wallace to approve the minutes as amended, supported by Mr. Kangas. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? All right, minutes are approved. Next information, or next item on the agenda is other business, including report of planning commission liaison. Mr. Walsh. We do have the Carlisle Wortman summary.
Yeah, I would say in the future, we should put the Carlisle Wortman summary first, because essentially that covers most things better than I would summarize them.
Yeah. I'll try to remember that.
Yeah.
I know. Why it happened. In any event, what else beyond the Carlisle Wharton report? What other secrets are there from the planning commission?
I don't know if there are any secrets. We're just gonna be very busy in the beginning of the year. There's a lot of stuff occurring. I think the one that they really want to get down is the data center ordinance. Get something in the books quickly before, or in case we have to react to it. Now, there's suspicion that property is too valuable in Scio for anyone to want to put in, but we're still better off getting something in. So the document that we were given by Carlisle Wortman was essentially something that had been put together for Pittsfield Township. So that was our starting point.
And I think they've passed it.
Laura wasn't certain.
Something in the news.
I don't know whether they did. I do see, though, that the township is, according to the Sun Times, is going to be purchasing that plot that is next to Zeb Road, where all the trees are.
Yes, but what was previously called Aubrey Road. You know,
Right. So is that's a done deal?
Yes. It's going to be used for passive recreation. The developer was proposing essentially clear cutting the site and cutting down over 400 trees, including 20 to 30 heritage trees, very mature trees. It was the reasons were complicated for us to make this decision, but we did. If you want more information from me.
No, we're just talking discussion at this point. And someone whose opinion I respect, voiced a concern that if this continues, though, the property value or the property taxes in Scio may not keep pace.
What do you mean if this continues?
You're taking all that stuff off the rolls for a potential development that would increase property tax considerably.
Plenty of future proposed developments coming. We have a lot of new potential developments coming. They're in the pipe.
Not arguing with you, I'm passing along somebody else's comment to me about it. But I understand it, because if we're continuing to buy up, property rights to keep development limited.
You mean
No.
land preservation now? Okay, so this, okay.
Isn't that what this one is?
This is partially covered by our land preservation fund, but also the tree fund contributed to it and the general fund. So the resources for purchasing the property came from 3 different funds.
What's the tree fund? You mean within the township?
Yes.
Okay,
So when developer cuts down trees on property, they have to reimburse, they're supposed to reimburse the township for a certain number of trees, or this was a big deal with Piper Ridge. Apparently over 400 trees were cut down there, unbeknownst to the township. This is still being resolved.
Meaning there's a court case?
No, but there's an investigation going
where is this land?
on. It's by Parkland Plaza.
Okay.
There are some Gelman monitoring wells on the site too. There are 5. That's gonna be an issue.
Anything else?
I couldn't tell you when, but I've heard that Heritage Woods may be coming back to the planning commission for PUD modifications. So the whole thing we got into last time may come up there, but this was, I guess the modification was separate from that, so. So yes, PUDs do get modified.
They have come back multiple times
Yep.
for potential modifications. Laura has been meeting with that frequently, the representative.
But that's it.
Okay. Simple enough. All right, at this point, we'll go to the agenda item for public comment. People wishing to address the zoning board of appeals on matters which are not on the public hearing portion of the agenda. Each speaker shall identify him or herself by name, and such oral presentation shall be limited to 3 minutes, except the representative or spokesperson of an organization shall have 5 minutes to address the board, provided that if more than 5 citizens express a desire to speak, the chairperson in his or her direction may limit the time of comment. There's nobody present in the room here. Is there anyone wishing to speak on Zoom?
No.
Okay, then, the next item on the agenda is adjournment. I'd solicit a motion in that regard.
Support.
Motion by Mr. Shields to adjourn, supported by Mr. Walsh. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So the meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
So Kathy, do you like these meetings?